Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel, where English feels simple, real, and fun. Let me start with a story. The first time I spoke to a native speaker, I completely panicked. Seriously, my hands were shaking. My brain went blank. My heart was racing like I was running a marathon. They said something super simple, like, "Hey, how's it going?" And you know what I did? I froze. I didn't even answer. I just smiled awkwardly and said, yes. At that time, I didn't even realize that "how's it going" means "how are you?" I remember walking home that day thinking, Leo, what just happened? You've studied English for years, so why can't you understand real people? And that, my friends, was my wake-up call. Have you ever been in that situation? Someone speaks English to you, fast, natural, real, and suddenly you can't understand a single word? You know the grammar, you know the vocabulary, but real conversation feels like a storm of sounds. If you know that feeling, you're in the right place. Because today, I'm going to show you how I trained my ears to hear real English, not just textbook English. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to start doing it too. So, ready? Let's go. After that embarrassing first conversation, I made a decision. I told myself, okay, Leo, you're going to learn how people actually speak in real life, not the slow, perfect voice in your school book, but the fast, funny, emotional way people talk in real life. So here's what I did. Step by step. Step 1. I stopped listening for perfect grammar. I realized that real people don't talk like textbooks. They shorten words, they mix grammar, they even say things that aren't in your lessons. For example, instead of saying, "I do not know," people say, "I don't know." Instead of, "What are you doing?" they say, "What are you doing?" At first, I thought, wait, what? That's not in my book. But then I realized, if I only listen to perfect grammar, I'll never understand real English. So I stopped worrying about correctness and started focusing on sound. I asked myself, what does this really sound like? And slowly, I started hearing patterns. Step 2. I listened like a detective. Every time I watched a movie or listened to a podcast, I tried to catch small clues. When a native speaker said something I didn't understand, I didn't panic. I paused, rewound, and asked, okay, what's happening here? What's the situation? For example, if someone said, "Hey, what's up?" and the other person replied, "Not much," I learned that's just a friendly greeting, not a serious question. That's how I started learning real life meaning, not just words. Step 3. I learned chunks, not single words. At school, we learn words one by one, like hello, thanks, fine, name. But real English lives in chunks, short, connected phrases. For example, how's it going? Long time no see. You've got to be kidding me. Take your time. No worries. When I started learning these small phrases together, my listening improved like magic. because my brain stopped translating word by word. Instead, it started hearing groups of meaning. That's how you move from, huh, to, ah, I get it. Step 4. I trained with real voices every day. Now this is important. You can't learn real English if you only listen once a week. I made English part of my daily life. In the morning, I listened to podcasts while brushing my teeth. At lunch, I watched a short YouTube clip. At night, I listened to English music before bed. I wasn't studying hard. I was just surrounding myself with English sounds. And guess what? My ears got stronger. My brain started to predict words before I heard them. That's when everything changed. One day, I was at a cafe. A tourist came up to me and said, "Hey man, do you know where the nearest ATM is?" And for the first time ever, I understood everything. No panic, no fear, no freezing. I smiled and said, "Sure, it's right around the corner." He said, "Thanks, man." And I thought, wow, I just had a real conversation. It felt amazing. I walked out of that cafe feeling 10 feet tall. I couldn't stop smiling. That's when I realized understanding English isn't about being perfect. It's about being comfortable. Now, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you're talking to a native speaker next month. They say, "Hey, how's it going?" And instead of freezing, you smile and reply, "I'm great, thanks. How about you?" Feels good, right? That's possible for you. And it starts with how you listen, not how many grammar rules you memorize. So here's my challenge for you this week. Every day, listen to 5 minutes of real English. It could be a short video, a podcast, or even a song. But here's the rule. Don't pause. Don't translate. Just listen for feeling. Is it happy? Sad? Funny? Serious? Train your ears to feel meaning, not just understand words. Then in the comments below, tell me what you listened to today. I read every single one. Maybe you'll inspire someone else to start too. Let's recap quickly. I used to freeze in real conversations. Then I changed how I listened. I stopped focusing on grammar. I started learning chunks. I listened daily. And one day, everything clicked. That's how I went from "I don't understand" to "I got this." So, what about you? What happened? Tell me your story in the comments below, because your story might help another learner feel less alone. I'm Leo, and this was the Daily English Listening Stories, where we learn English that feels real. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself, because one day soon, you'll have your first real conversation too. And when that moment comes, you'll smile and think, wow, I really did it. See you next time, my friends.